We'll start the meeting with announcements. So we'll use the raised hand function. So if you have an announcement, just raise your hand in Zoom and we'll go around. Chris Grafe?
Good morning, everyone, and please forgive me. I am actually on a Metro North train, so my signal might go out. So I'm just going to remind people. I did put my information into the chat, and Kathy, I did email you my report. As you know, you guys just mentioned a few minutes ago. Yes, the Omni card is now fully controlled and more added. There is no more things of Metro card. If you still have a Metro with money, yes, you can use it, drain it. But I'm going to remind everyone, please make sure you sign up for the Omni.info account because we need to secure the Omni account. But I'm just going to remind whoever's making noise, can you please mute so I can talk because I'm on a train with extra noise. Yes, yeah. As I'm trying to do this right now, the report is very simple. As you know, we are going to be working on a lot of new changes in the MTA. MTA board meetings have been changed till tomorrow with the committees and everything else has been changed. But I'm just going to remind you that at this time, there is going to be some updated newer train cars coming in, and there's so much things that is coming in. I know some of you guys are maybe a little upset with the railroads with the changes of the not just the snow, but regarding the app. We are aware of that, and I will continue working on that. And as also as the fare has changed, we're now up to $3, and reduced fare is $1.50. Please make sure you guys are necessary checking your omni.info and please make sure you're up to dating your information. If you're using the railroads, please be advised that the price did go up a quarter. The other fare things did go for reduced fare in the city zone is 3,050 cents. So there is a reduced fare city ticket. We're just reminding everyone to please do your part to check the information. And if you have questions or concern about Omni, or we want the MTA to do a presentation, please just email MTA Accessibility and they will get back to you. If you're not hearing from them, then please let me know and I'll get back to you. I hope everyone will stay warm and stay dry and see you guys soon. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Chris. Travel safely. Dylan?
Abraham.
Where is he?
What, Mikhail?
Thanks. Hi, I'm Dylan Wadden. I'm from AHRC New York City. I'm our communications and advocacy manager. I just wanted to let everyone know that we're beginning our family education series again, starting this Thursday with a transition workshop for parents or people who are beginning to transition out of secondary education into adult services. So I'm going to post that link in the chat. And we have a bunch of other both in-person and virtual workshops coming up. Some are open houses for our Brooklyn programs. Others include camping and recreation open houses to find out more about our two upstate camps, which are beginning registration for this year's summer season. So I'm gonna put those links in the chat, and I hope you anybody who's interested can make it. So thanks a lot, and looking forward to the rest of the meeting today.
Thanks, Dylan. Alana?
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Alana Katz. I am the secretary for the DD Council as well. I have an announcement. I work for OHEL Bay Cesra. We have money available in family reimbursement for Queens, Manhattan, and Brooklyn. So please put in your applications because we really want to help all the families that we can. And in addition, any announcements that you have, you could put in the chat. It's just easier in terms of making sure we get the correct information in the minutes afterwards. Thank you.
Thanks, Alana. Wendy?
Morning, everyone. Wendy DeLeon from Adapt Community Network. Just wanted to let everyone know Adapt Community Network is accepting referrals for family reimbursement. I just want to add to that, we are in the third quarter, so please, if you're a family member listening to this, please put in your application as soon as possible if you have not. You can always put in a second application later on if you have further expenses. But please don't wait until the fourth quarter, June 30th to hand everything in. It does make it much more difficult for the agencies to guarantee that they will be able to process your application on time. And that goes also to the care managers. We also have are accepting referrals for housing assistance services, home modifications funding for people with IDD, the general public, and specifically for older adults as well, day habilitation, community habilitation, overnight respite, clinical services, and more. Please be sure to contact our Project Connect information and referral line at 877-827-2666 or email us at projectconnect@adaptcommunitynetwork.org. I will put all that information on the chat for you as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy. Casey?
Good morning. AHRC New York City has openings for free evaluations for individuals who do not have Medicaid and are seeking OPWDD eligibility. And we continue to have money for family reimbursement. I put my contact information as well as the program flyers in the chat. Please don't hesitate to reach out.
Good.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks, Casey. Adelaide?
Hello, everyone. My name is Adelaide. I am a program supervisor at YI.
What kind of program?
I supervise multiple programs, but the program today that I'm discussing is Transition to Independence program. It's for people from the age of 17 to 21 years old on the autism spectrum who live in Manhattan. Currently, we're taking only Manhattan residents because that's the majority of what the contract calls for. And these are for people who are not waiver enrolled. So if anybody has any ideas of people who may be interested, I'm definitely going to leave my information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Margaret?
Good morning, everyone. So nice to see so many here. I'm Margaret Chiara. I work at Birch Family Services. I oversee the training department. And Friday, we're kicking off our second half of the school year 2026 parent and family trainings. I'm going to be running an introduction to applied behavior analysis. I'm also a BCBA. So I'm going to put the link in the chat for registration, and I'm also going to attach our parent and family training flyer for the next few months will be in there, as well as my contact information. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Margaret. Laura?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Evans. I am a family educator with Include NYC. We offer workshops, events for families that are free of charge. We have a workshop coming up this Thursday, January 29th at 10:30. It will be virtual on student involvement in the IEP. So connected to, I've heard few folks here mention transition. So student involvement in the IEP is a really important component of equipping students for the future after high school. We also have a helpline that families and professionals are welcome to call. So this is geared towards folks who are navigating special education and raising a child with a disability, known or suspected. So I'll drop that information in the chat. Families can call an educator and speak to us for up to an hour. And we have a number of other events and workshops coming up as well. So I'll post the link to our events page. Thanks, everyone. Nice to see you all.
Thanks, Laura. Pat?
Good morning, everyone. Family Support Coordinator from GHO. GHO, we have a waiver service opening for ComHat, site-based day have withdrawal and job training program, included community-based pre-vote. And for our family support service, we have family reimbursement service, for goods and service. And for our family support case management, this service is not required Medicaid. So individuals who are interested in the OPWD service, new to the system, we can assist them with the whole process and eventually get them into appropriate CCO that want to join it. And then finally, we have a contract with the CDNY. We assist the family who speak in Chinese or Korean to do the intake. And I will put my contact information on the chat. And my name is Pat Liu, and my contact is 718-307-6563. And we have staff speaking in Chinese and Korean available. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
Any other announcements? Then we do have a guest presentation this morning. We have somebody from Manhattan Psychology Group, Joshua Rosenthal, who is going to talk to us about some of the options and services and supports available there. Josh, you should be able to share your screen.
Great, thank you. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yep,
Yes.
you're good.
Okay, all right, good. Sometimes I highlight the wrong part of my screen and then people are reading my emails and I don't know about it until halfway through I'm talking. So I'm glad I saved myself that embarrassment. Thank you, Mary and Jackie, for having me on such short notice. I got to meet Mary in person at the Include NYC Fair, which was amazing. And I have a very short, but I think promising message to deliver to everyone. Just a quick background. So I'm a clinical psychologist. I started Manhattan Psychology Group back in 2008, so seeing kids and families in New York City. And in 2016, we started working with students who had won impartial hearing orders. By a show of hands, how many people are familiar with impartial hearing orders? Just raise your hand with the cursor or your real hand, whichever one works faster. Okay, great. So we've been doing this work for 10 years, and what I'm realizing that even though this has been around for a very long time, not everyone who knows about it, everyone that should know about it knows about it. And it's sort of, for the right family, it can be a game-changing experience for their child, especially children with level 2 or level 3 autism. So what I'm going to talk about is this matchmaking mission that I am on, which is essentially to find the families that qualify, that could potentially have cases, and match them with attorneys that can take on those cases. And the entire thing is free. So essentially what's happening is that there are hundreds of kids stuck at DOE schools, specifically District 75 schools, that are not making progress. And the families don't realize that they're entitled to sue the DOE, and it could cost them virtually nothing. And all the services provided when they win against the DOE are free. And they don't realize this is an option. They think they have to either just deal with whatever the DOE gives them. Maybe English is not their first language. Maybe they don't feel entitled to speak up. Maybe they think it's too expensive. I can't afford an attorney. For whatever reason, they don't pursue this. And again, especially kids with level 2, level 3 autism, because they're at the most risk. They need a ton of support, and the DOE does not provide ABA. It's not on the IEP. So how could they possibly get ABA when they need it? The other scenario is that students will get referred to nonprofits. There's a number of nonprofits that provide free educational, special educational advocacy, Mobilization for Justice, Legal Aid Society, Advocates for Children, all great institutions. However, they have their limits. There's only so many kids that they can represent. Now, 10 years ago, there weren't many private fee-for-service special ed attorneys out there. So I understand why families would go to the nonprofits. That's how they came to be. But over the last couple of years, there's been more and more private fee-shifting attorneys that work exactly the same way as the nonprofits, where they charge nothing up front. They get all of their fees from the DOE when they win the case, and all of the services that they win for the families are free. And so what I'm trying to do is get the word out for the families that need it, to connect them with those attorneys who we work with. So like I said, on the one end, you have all of these families that are sort of struggling. The children are struggling. They're sitting at schools where they shouldn't necessarily be there, or they're not getting the services that they should be getting on their IEPs, or their IEPs are just, in fact, wrong. Okay. And then on the other end, there are many, many wonderful fee-shifting attorneys that are ready and willing to help these families. So I'm trying to play matchmaker, and that's why I'm here to present. I presented at the Queens DD Council, the Brooklyn DD Council, the Bronx DD Council, and so we saved the best for last. I haven't done Staten Island yet, too, but I live in Manhattan, so it was sort of funny that I haven't done Manhattan yet. So I'm trying to get the word out to all of the people here, since you're working with these families. How many people right now have a family on their roster, a child with level 2 or level 3 autism that is out of school, where you know they are not getting what they need and they might be falling behind? Just raise your hand, your real hand or your virtual hand.
Josh, Can you just
Okay.
clarify
Yeah.
what level 2 and level 3 are?
Sure. So when you're diagnosing a child with autism, it's level 1 is sort of the least impaired, level 2 is moderate impaired, and 3 would be severe impairment. So level 2 or 3 might be nonverbal, basic communication skills are not there, trouble taking care of themselves, safety issues, right? So like the kids that need the most support, level 2, level 3. And some kids could fluctuate. They could be level 2 in one area, level 3 in another area. But these are kids that need ABA desperately in order to learn. It's really the foundation for them to learn applied behavior analysis. And I think I saw a woman who was a BCBA on the call earlier. So that's wonderful to see. So I'm trying to play matchmaker. Now, what do I get at it? Why is this guy up here talking about this wonderful thing for all these families? What do I get at it? You're probably wondering. Up front, I get nothing out of it. Okay. I make the match and then I step out of the way. So essentially what happens is, and I'm going to put the contact info in the chat here for everyone. You find a family. Now tell me if you guys can see this. I might be shooting myself in the foot here. Chat. Okay. All right, I just posted the contact info there. So you find a family, you refer the family to us, we assess their case, we help them decide whether they have a case or not. Not every family that is struggling in DOE school has a case, and the attorneys will not take on a family unless they can win, right? That's how they get paid. And then once we determine they do, we do a warm handoff to the attorney. We call the attorney and say, hey, we have a family, we think this, this, and this. Are you interested? Yes. Are you available? Yes. And then we make the introduction to the attorney. Once we make that introduction, we step out of the way. We have nothing to do with it from there on. We have no financial arrangement with the attorney. We make no money out of this. The only time that we would make money out of this entire process is if the attorney and the family came back to us and they said, Josh, can you do a neuropsych eval? Josh, can you do an ABA skills? Can you do an FBA? We say, sure. So we get hired to do it, and the DOE pays us. At the end of the process, which could take 6 to 9 months, when the family wins and they get an impartial hearing order and has a whole bunch of services on there, and they want our services, they can come back to us and say, hey, Josh, can you guys provide the ABA? And we say, sure. We provide the ABA, we bill the DOE. So right up front, we make nothing out of this. This is merely trying to help families get the services that they need. Now, again, these are completely free. These do not affect any other subsidy that the family might be receiving. It doesn't impact anything else that they're getting. It's a completely separate bucket of money that the DOE has set aside for families that do not have a place to go. There's no schools for them, and they're stuck at D75 schools or other schools. Maybe they're getting push-in services. Maybe they're at home. But essentially, the DOE has decided that we're not going to build special needs schools. We're not going to build one-to-one ABA schools. We're just going to do it this way. So the whole business of impartial hearing orders is for this reason. A lot of families don't know about this process and think that D75 is their only option for placement. So I think you should be sharing this resource. Exactly. And I'm trying to present to the D75 Council as we speak. I'm in touch with Christy from there, trying to set that up because I need to get the word out that this is an option for families who don't know about it. There's a whole host of services that these families could win. Anything from ABA to counseling to parent training to a new school to an assisted device to transportation, anything that the child needs to learn, they're entitled to through this process in impartial hearing order. And again, it's all free. It's literally free. They pay nothing to the attorney. Maybe they pay a couple $100s of a retainer if they can afford it, and they pay nothing for the services. And it's absolutely game changing. DPC, due process complaint. Sorry, I have a bunch of terms here, but I didn't want to overwhelm everyone. So, and I can share this presentation and I can share a flyer, a one-page flyer for you to use with your families to make it very simple. This is federal law. It's not going away no matter what Trump does. It's always going to be here. So don't worry about that. Everyone's heard of an IEP, right? These children have IEPs. FAPE is when they're denied their free and appropriate education, even though they have an IEP. It's not being implemented. D75, we all know what that is. DPC is the process of suing the DOE, and then an impartial hearing order is this thick document which outlines everything that they're entitled to. And like I said, it could be anything that the child needs to learn. These are all the different services that they're entitled to. These are the services that we provide. So if the family came to us, we'd be providing everything except for speech, PT, OT, and medicine. That includes ABA, neuropsych testing, counseling, special ed services. But we work with all these other providers so we can quarterback that. The most most of the time, the kids that are going to win this hands down are children with level 2 or level 3 autism, simply because the DOE doesn't have ABA on the IEP. So they just basically give up and say, we cannot do this. Therefore, they allow the family to find private providers to do this. Yes, I will share everything as soon as I'm done talking. If I share it with you now, you're not going to listen to me or look at me. So I'm going to share it after I finish talking. So these are all the just different qualifying factors. Again, not making progress, has autism. Those are sort of the two main things. And it's obvious. I mean, the parents will speak up. They'll say, I'm not making any progress. They're sort of gaslighting me. No one's listening to me. And this can work for children turning 3 into 4. So if they're going from EI, okay, there's 2 entry points. The first point is from EI into a special ed preschool. If they need ABA and they do not get ABA on their IEP into a special ed preschool, or they're not getting enough ABA, they qualify for this. You could still refer them to an attorney, even though they're just babies. We can still refer them to an attorney, and the attorney will win. And when they win the case, this is what's so powerful. These services could stay with them until they're 21. So think about this. A child with severe autism somehow finds their way to an attorney that represents their best interests and wins an impartial hearing order at age 3 or turning 4, right? Stays with them until they're 21. Think about the trajectory change for that child versus entry point number 2. They go into a special needs preschool. Maybe they get ABA, maybe they don't. They end up in first grade at a D75 school, or 7th grade or 3rd grade or 4th grade. Again, they're not getting what they need. They've fallen behind. They're nonverbal. Their trajectory has gone from this to this, okay? And now you sue and you win, and you need all of those years to get back up. So you're playing catch up, right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the word out so families know about their options as early as possible. I talked to Bellevue, the developmental pediatricians. I talked to Jacoby. I talked to Montefiore. Any of the developmental pediatricians that are seeing these kids as babies need to tell the parents with kids with autism that they need to know about these options early, because exactly, continuity of care. The DOE is not going to tell them about this. They don't want them to know about this option, right? This costs them money. Okay. I'm going through quick because I know you guys have a lot of other things to talk about, and I'm going to give you all this information. Again, life-changing, completely free. Earlier the better. It takes a long time for it to work. It takes 6 to 9 months, so that's why we have to start really early. And there's a host of other services that they can get in the meantime. I heard a lot of people sharing wonderful services that are available. That's great. The family should know that if they do sue, they're going to have to participate, right? So they're going to be in hearings, all virtual. They're going to have to sign affidavits. It's not like someone else goes and does it. The parent has to sort of be with it. So if you're working with the parent, you want to let them know in advance, hey, you're going to have to give us documents. You're going to have to help us with the case. But it's really simple. All you have to do, and I'm going to share the documents. So this is the presentation on which I'm going to share, and then this is the flyer. Can everyone see the flyer? Just raise your hands because I can't see everyone's face. Okay, so this is the flyer. This explains everything. All you need to do is email Ariel. Ariel is a BCBA and a psychologist who works in my company. You email her or you call the phone number, and she will get back to you right away. She'll set up a time to talk to the family. And like I said, we'll assess. No, doesn't cost them anything. And we'll do a warm handoff to an attorney. Yes, other people with disabilities qualify, but the attorney will only take on a case when they can win. So winning means that the DOE has to have done an egregious job of denying the child FAPE, okay? And so if the child has dyslexia, or they have a learning disorder, or they have mild behavioral issues, that's not going to be enough for the attorney typically. And the reason for this, because those things can be changed over time, right? Like if they do find the right intervention, you can change those things. But for a child with autism, they need a lot more support, and the DOE usually fails. Any questions? I know I was talking in a mile a minute. Yes, we speak Spanish and the attorneys speak Spanish.
Jackie, you have a question?
Yes, hi. First of all, I'm Jackie Goldberg, the other half of Mary, so thank you for presenting.
Sure.
Having been through this process for 20 years, the attorneys that you pass the families on to, are they prepared to stay with the family year by year, since we know that there's going to be these hearings? Okay, great.
Of course. Yep. They will have to sue. They'll have to get pendency every year in order to continue. But they know that. They know that. I mean, look, the attorneys that become special ed attorneys, these are do-gooders. These are people that want to help. They usually have a child with some special need. They could go into corporate, law and make a ton more money. They do not do that because they want to help families. I would say 99% of the attorneys are like that. And we work with some really good ones that we trust our families with. They do a good job. And we know that any family that comes to us going to them will be taken care of. Yes, Paula.
Hi, this is Paula Martinez Boone. I'm from the New York Lawyers for the Public Interest, one of the agencies that actually represent, one of the agencies that represent kids with disabilities. So I will say that perhaps this presentation is focused on kids with autism, but I want to clarify that they are not the only ones who DOE fail. So you can always call our agency, and we can typically it's the same process that have been described here. There is an assessment process, and then we don't partner with private attorneys because they are attorneys here at the agency. And at the end, when it's an impartial hearing and there is a need of services, typically what we do is that we work with different agencies like this one, and then they will do a neurological evaluation, they will do different assessment evaluations, and then when we win the case is by obviously it makes sense if this is the agency, whatever agency, whether it is the one that is represented here or EVL or Huntington is helping us along the way, that is the agency that's going to get the business. So, but I want, I want to clarify that it is not only for kids with autism, it's for kids with disabilities in general in our case. So just a clarification so parents don't feel like if my child is not diagnosed with autism, I cannot ask DOE for, programs or to give us FAPE. A child with disabilities is entitled to FAPE and 100%. Any disabilities. So I just want to do that little clarification right there.
Thank you. 100%.
Thanks, Kyle. Mary?
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I just want to state for parents out there who I have been through this process a long time ago, but one, it is not easy and you're not guaranteed to win. Josh's enthusiasm is nice to hear, right? But it's a journey, okay? And it's not easy to fight the Board of Ed, but it is possible. Things are possible for you. And again, Paola explained that it doesn't mean that you need autism to fight the Board of Ed, okay? Anyone with an IDD has the right for free and free appropriate education. So again, Josh, thank you for presenting for our families and our agencies, our CCOs. Kathy, thank you for having him. And anybody else have a question? Kate?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I have a couple of families I'm working with where the school is really struggling to support them. And sorry, I hear somebody in the background there. The school is really struggling to support them, sending them to ER because they can't control their behaviors. They need residential placement, and the DOE is kind of pushing back and saying that's not our responsibility. It's ACS or it's, OPW. And it just keeps getting pushed around. Are these lawyers that potentially could help with residential placement?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
We have one particularly challenging case and a bunch of entities are involved, but their last attorney kind of just gave up. So, okay.
Yeah, you need someone who's a skilled litigator. I mean, there's a difference between being an attorney and being a litigator, and these are all litigation situations, basically. So they now have to know how to build a case with evidence and all that. But 100%, kids go to residential all the time, and the DOE pays for it.
Yeah, I know they should. She's on that cusp. She's like 19, and her behaviors are challenging for sure, and there isn't a placement. Like it's a lot. So, but I can reach out and we can run it by you.
Great.
Thanks.
Great.
Thanks again, Josh. And if you can email to manhattanddcouncil@gmail.com. We will include the presentation on our website. These meetings are recorded, so we'll have the recording as well as the chat and the flyer and presentation available on our website shortly.
If I sent it to the Manhattan Film Advisory, would that do the same job? Is that okay?
I can.
Okay, all right.
Definitely.
I'll send the slides and the flyer right now. Thank you, everyone, for having me. I appreciate it. And please reach out if you have any questions.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks again,
Bye-bye.
Josh.
Bye.
I know Rayanne is here, but there is no update from New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. So we'll move forward to OPWDD and updates from them. Contessa?
Yes, good morning, everyone. So a few updates. So the governor announced in 2025 that the state of the state included in New York State budget for the 2025-2026 session that $25 million will be given to focus on regional disability health clinics. And the deadline for that was November 5th. And so the focus is to prioritize projects that are related to expanding or enhancing existing dental services or improving a physical space so that we can better accommodate someone who has a wheelchair.
Contessa?
I'm
Contessa,
sorry
you're- Yeah, we can't hear you. It's very unclear.
It's very mushy. Can you
speak closer or something? It's really hard to hear you.
Okay, let me see what I can do.
Thank you
closer
so
to
much.
the mic, maybe?
It's a very garbled.
Okay, let me see what I can do. Can you hear me better now? Not really? Honey.
Not really.
It's like an echo, like you're in a tunnel.
Definitely not in a tunnel. I don't know why I would be sounding that way. My audio settings.
Yeah, it's more like you're in a very large space, and so the microphone of your laptop isn't enough. You need more like a headset or something in order to be heard very clearly.
Oh, can you hear me now? Is that better?
Not really.
Let me see if I put these earphones. Let's see if that will make a difference. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Is that better?
I think you sound a little bit further away, but we can hear you a bit more clearly at least.
All right. Is that any better? I'm sorry that that's not coming through.
It's clear, but a little further away. A little odd.
Good. All right. So
Is there perhaps a call-in option for this meeting that you can utilize?
let me see. So Kathy, just give me a moment. I'm gonna try and call in.
She actually sounds better now.
I actually sound better now.
I think so.
You may want to move on and get back to me when I get some Because if you can't hear me now, it's gonna have to be through the phone if you're not hearing me clearly.
Sure. Let's I'll move on to IAC's update. And unfortunately, neither Kate nor Mary could make it today. So hopefully you can hear me. And I will read their report in. First, IAC's lobby days are coming up and will be held on February 10th. There'll be briefings on February 5th and 6th. So please be on the lookout for an invite to join in with IAC's lobby days up in Albany. The ask for this year by NIDA Advocacy Group, the priorities for 2026 include a targeted inflationary increase of 2.7%, improvements in infrastructure and care system investment, including capital funding demonstration program, improvements in the prior property approval funding, and increase residential reserve for replacement, which provides funds for capital repairs and renovations for housing units and buildings. In education, the priorities that we're asking for include the passing of legislation for the APE 22, as well as which would be to have the New York State Supreme Court rule to fund districts that enable students to remain in school until June 30th of the year they turn 22. There will be other additional education asks coming in the later months. In early intervention, we are asking for the implementation of the state share of the 5% increase retroactive to October 1st, 2024, an increase in reimbursement rates, making an additional investment of 8%, and also include the rate study in the budget. And so those are the NIDA and education asks for the New York State budget this year for 2026. In New York City, update needs, as you know, we have a new mayor, new city council speaker, new schools chancellor. So we're watching and speaking with IACs, working with New York City departments to ensure a smooth transition. On the federal news updates, we're watching again for a possible government shutdown. The budget that was extended through June 30th, which is this Friday. So there are additional federal budgets that should be coming due and renewed after January 30th. Going back to state updates, as you know, the governor released her executive budget last week. And some of the specifics for OPWDD programs include an overall increase of OPWDD funding of $342.8 million, which is a 4.6% increase. There is a 1.7% targeted inflationary increase included for the O agencies, but it does not include the CCOs. There is also a 5% increase in family care rates, $15 million set aside for OPWDD independent housing initiatives, $30 million to fund new OPWDD services, and that fully annualized is $120 million. There is $39.3 million to support minimum wage increases, a there is a $33 million reduction in family support services from 97 million to 63.4 million, which is in line with past year's spending. On the Department of Health side of the state budget, there is no EI rate increase included. There's $100,000 to alleviate barriers to hearing loss screenings and language acquisition services, standardization of ABA by establishing a Centers of Excellence designation for providers that will ensure that evaluations and referrals for ABA treatments are clear and appropriate. There is an additional 75 million to maintain the medical indemnity fund. And New York State was awarded 212 million for the first year of a 5-year rural health transformation program to be used for rural communities to strengthen integration, technology, data tracking, and cybersecurity. On the state education side, it adds 1.6 billion for school district funding, including 561 million for UPK. It provides 45.6 million in capital improvements at 5 state-owned schools. There are upcoming legislative budget hearings that are slated for New York State. In Albany, the first one is on elementary and secondary education, and that will be on January 29th at 9:30 a.m. The hearing for mental hygiene is February 4th at 9:30. And the hearing for health and Medicaid is February 10th at 9:30. Again, IAC lobby days are February 10th and 11th. There will be legislative town halls virtual by the DD councils. The 5 borough DD councils once again will be joining together to have a virtual town hall on March 6th at 10 a.m. There will be a rally on March 10th in the War Room and a couple of other rallies coming up in March. And then finally for OPWDD, there was a recent proposed regulations released for Article 16 clinics. And these changes clarify the requirements to receive services at Article 16 clinics. There is a comment period that is currently open, and IAC is working on coming up with recommendations to submit. And then the final IAC note is please save the date for their annual conference on June 10th and 11th. So that's IAC's report. Contessa, you good? You're muted. You're still muted.
I'm on the phone. Yeah, so I'm gonna.
We can hear you, but there's an echo, so you need to mute maybe your laptop. You muted your laptop, but I think you're muted on your phone too. We can't hear you, Contessa. We can't hear you.
Try pressing *6 to unmute yourself on your phone.
Did you say *6, Laura?
Yes.
Did that work for you, Contessa, pressing *6 on your phone?
Yeah, I'm doing *6, but that's not working. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, very clear.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Is this better?
Much better.
Yes, much
Okay.
better.
Okay. Let me just try and see if I can get through this, and hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay. So the governor announced during her 2025 State of the State, $25 million for the creation of regional disability health clinics. OPWDD is going to prioritize projects that are related to expanding or enhancing existing dental services, improving physical space to better accommodate wheelchairs, and improving physical space to be more sensory friendly, and improving access to specialty health services in healthcare deserts. The deadline for application was November 5th of 2025, and we're hoping to have the announcement regarding the awards in spring of 2026. So that is great. The healthcare deserts, a lot of the areas probably in upstate New York, but this will include Article 16 clinics and Article 28 clinics, as well as any diagnostic and treatment centers and any federally qualified health centers. Obviously rural health centers as well. So just wanted to give you some information on that. Also, the 2025 OPWDD annual report is now available on our website. And the report highlights progress made on the 2023 through 2027 strategic plan. And we will be putting the links for you guys to be able to get more information in the chat. Has anyone seen that, gotten a chance to look at that on the website? It just came out, I believe it was last week. Yeah, okay. In April of 2025, OPWD announced the establishment of a Commissioner's Task Force on Aging. The task force is a time-limited subcommittee of the Developmental Disabilities Advisory Council, the DDAC. And it's also co-led by the Commissioner's Office. So over the course of 2026, the task force held a series of panels and information gathering sessions to learn from and discuss ideas related to each theme in order to develop actionable recommendations. Information on the task force will be added to the DDAC website, and updates will be provided at the DDAC meetings. So if you have any questions, we'll put the website so that you can stay up to date. I wanted to bring to your attention Assessing Life, which is a podcast that's led by people who work for OPWDD with lived experience. It was launched in July 2024. Has anyone actually seen those podcasts? They have 12 episodes available. The show is produced by OPWDD employees. Mike Orzel is the producer. And some of the topics that they talk about are accessible technology, voting, employment, shopping, and any type of support in terms of decision making.
So definitely want to encourage you to check out those podcasts, and we will put the link to that in the chat as well. The Ombudsman Program is operating statewide to provide individualized support to people experiencing challenges, assessing, using, or interacting with the OPWDD service delivery system. This includes issues related to OPWDD eligibility and authorization, as well as services and supports provided by nonprofit organizations, care coordination organizations, and others. So the Ombudsman Program, it operates a toll-free hotline, and we'll provide that for you as well. It's open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 p.m. And people who are calling in will be able to receive support from trained OSBUDS program staff who will provide information. They'll assist in gathering or helping you complete any paperwork, filing any complaints you have, supporting people or families in how to navigate the system to resolve any issues that you have. In addition to the toll-free hotline, the Ombuds program can be contacted via the website, and we'll provide that as well. So they do have, for complex cases, they have established a network of legal providers who will be available to assist people with any issues that you have when necessary. The staff will connect you with legal advice or representation through their network. It's important also to realize that the OSBUM program, although they do work closely with OPWDD, it is separate. It is set up to help you to be able to get support. It's independent from OPWDD services. So it is a program that is set up to support individuals. And then they work with OPWDD. All righty. And the New Americans with Developmental Disabilities. So OPWDD supports New Americans with developmental disabilities through its partnership with the New York State Department of State Office for New Americans. And so what is a New American? A New Americans are people who are born outside of the U.S., who move to the U.S. to live here, and many American families have mixed status, which means family members have different immigration status. So if you want to get some more information about the available resources of that someone who is considered a New American will have access to, we will put the information in the chat so that you can look into that. They have a New Americans hotline. They have information specific to nonprofits. So this is a really good resource because there's definitely families out there that, are looking for support and they need to know, what they might qualify for. And that is it for updates.
Thank you, Contessa. I heard you loud and clear then.
I hear you.
Thanks. We'll move on to...
I hear you now, Kathy.
Okay. We'll move on to committee reports. Mary or Jackie?
Good morning, everybody. And I just want to say, Contessa, it's usually me with the technological problem, so you're not alone. Mary and Andrew Harris represented the council at the Include Fair this past weekend. And in spite of it being really cold, it was an amazing turnout. So a lot of connections were made, a lot of connections to services and people for families. Upcoming for us, February 24th at 6 p.m., there will be a virtual presentation on dental care by a dentist who is also a sibling of a young adult with autism. So it'll be a very unique perspective in terms of helping families know what they can do in the home and also to make dental appointments more successful. On March 6th, as Kathy said, we have the Legislative Town Hall. March 11th is statewide family support services. Our meeting in March is going to be a presentation about camps. We're going to have Ramapo for Children, as well as YAI, AHRC, and Rising Treetops. And then in April, we're going to have a two-part, along with the transition committee, a two-part presentation on guardianship with the AHRC. The first day will be an overview, and the second, which is really a unique opportunity for families, will be in-person page-by-page application. So people will be able to get answers that specifically relate to their person with hands-on in-person support. And that is all I have. Mary, you want to add?
I'm frozen.
You're good.
We can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me? Well,
Yes.
it's not that you can hear me. So anyway, I just want to say that the second part of that guardianship is assistance in filling out the application is going to be in person only. That's going to be at 83 Maiden Lane. And if you attend session 1, you can come to session 2. But it's mandatory that you know what you're doing when you come to the second session to fill out the application. We just Andrew and I were discussing that. We think it's the most beneficial for the family to be in person to do that. And that's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Mayor. And thank you, Mary and Andrew, for attending the Include NYC Fair on behalf of the council. I'm so glad it was Saturday and not Sunday.
Yeah. They were the
And
only.
I told Kathy that we had people at our table. Andrew and I bet all day. And second, my jaw hurt after from talking so much. So it was a great turnout. Thanks.
It was amazing because they were the only council member, the only council of the 5 borough councils to be there. So they had to do triple duty, quadruple duty.
Yay for Manhattan.
Yep. They were mobbed.
Manhattan rocks.
Mm.
Andrew, you want to, Andrew or Pat, transition committee updates?
Sure. Hi, I'm Andrew. I co-chair the Manhattan Transition Committee along with Pat from GHO. We have a really exciting meeting coming up in a couple weeks I want to highlight. This is our annual Manhattan Adult Services Showcase. It'll be on Wednesday, February 11th at 10 a.m. So if you are a professional or family member supporting a young person with IDD who is just about getting ready to finish high school, going into adult life, thinking what's next, or if you are such a young person yourself, this is the meeting for you. This is going to be a series of brief presentations by organizations providing programs and services for that population, young adults with IDD. Presenting about their organization's programs and services. We'll feature info about day hab programs, employment services, OPWDD services, and some other supports for the future. 17 different organizations will be presenting, so this will be kind of a good one-stop shop to learn about what's out there. You'll leave with contact information from each of the presenting organizations. Meeting will be on Zoom, and it will be recorded and posted later on our website and YouTube channel. No need to register, just click the Zoom link to join. And the meeting info will be in the chat in a second. Also encourage you to join our following meetings in April about guardianship and decision-making options, which we're co-sponsoring, as Jackie and Mary mentioned, with the Manhattan Family Support Services Advisory Council. And hope to see you at all the meetings.
Thanks, Andrew. Jackie?
I just wanted to add to what Andrew said that that meet and greet is super, super important. I have 3 friends who all found their day programs through going to that meet and greet. So if you can encourage, if they're yourselves, if you're parents, or you can encourage your families, it's a great presentation.
Thanks. Family and Provider Information Committee updates. Wendy or Manwati?
Hi, everyone. We had a meeting earlier this month, put together by Manawati, who did a wonderful job, getting together agencies with family reimbursement programs. The meeting was focused on the family reimbursement program because, again, we are in the third quarter. We want to make sure that parents are putting in that application in time. And so we had several organizations join after Manawati provided a general presentation on family reimbursement. The organizations then kind of added pieces about the program itself, specifically how it worked for their organization. And that was recorded, and the recording should be on the Manhattan DD Council YouTube page in just a couple of days or so. We just sent it to Andrew. We had over 50 people attend, so thank you very much for those who presented and those who attended. Our next meeting will be in March. Don't have a topic for it yet, but we will be sending out that information as soon as we have that. And that was it. I'm not sure if Maniwati wanted to add anything else to it, but again, thank you for everyone who was able to present and to join us for that meeting.
That's good, Wendy. Thank you. And we shared all the information and flyers from the presenting agencies to everyone that was registered. So thank you again.
Thanks, Wendy and Manwati. And any other business, new business, comments, suggestions? Wendy?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to add, and I told myself I would. Something that came from the meeting itself was, and this happened last year, for those agencies that have family reimbursement programs, if you happen to run out of funds towards the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth, please share that with other agencies. There's several agencies that have family reimbursement contracts. Some of them only cover a couple of boroughs. Some of them cover all 5. I believe OHEL was the only one that kind of ran out of funds before the end of the year. So congrats again to you. And if you do it again, please let the rest of us know. But yeah, let's please share resources, share information with families. Even if you run out of funds in one of your 3 boroughs or whatever it may be, there's always an agency that still has funding until the very end. We want to make sure that the parents can use these receipts, right? Because come July 1st of 2026, they're no longer able to use them. And it would be a shame if the parent lost that opportunity for reimbursement because, we were sitting on the paperwork for a little bit. So just wanted to plug that in. And then also, I see Jasenia here. I don't know if you were planning to say anything about the Family Support Services Directory, but I was also at the Include NYC event, and there were a couple of organizations that were at least new to me that provide services in Manhattan. And we did mention to them that we had this directory and we were, this is the time frame when we update it. So if any of you are on this meeting now, the directory is on the Manhattan DD Council website. If you don't see yourself listed and you provide a family support service for Manhattan families, please do reach out to us. We would love to include you in the directory. We're always looking for new resources that we can provide families. And for those of you who have already appeared and need to update your information, also please do reach out to us if you don't receive an email from us asking you to do so. And that was it, Kathy. Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy. Ellie?
Hi, everybody. 2 things. I hope next time we can be in person because it's a totally different experience. So everyone come. And the other thing is the March 6th town hall. Be sure to register and be sure to come. It's really important that we show solidarity in our ask to the legislators. And the format's different, hopefully more interesting. We'll see. Any suggestions, send them on to Kathy, not me, no. But hopefully it'll be better, more interactive. It's going to be a town hall on different topics and that just register and come.
Thanks for that plug, Ellie.
Sure.
Jackie?
Sorry, I seem to be on a roll today. I just wanted to add that Center for Family Support actually is having a two-part presentation on family reimbursement. One is going on now, and there'll be another one at 5 p.m. tonight. And Andrew, I sent you the flyer because I thought you could put the information in the chat. But that should be interesting, talking about the allowable and the unallowable this evening at 5 p.m.
Thanks. Mary?
I just wanted to add to the family support service, using it as all the money up, because if you don't, then OPWDD tends to think you don't need it. So it is really important that if there's an agency with money that's not being used, do some sort of check-in with those who need to use it, so that doesn't happen.
Good point. Yesenia? You're muted.
Does she know she's muted?
Yeah. Still can't hear you.
Oh, there you are.
There you
Nope.
go. Oh,
Okay, I'm
there
so
you go.
sorry, having technical issues. I just wanted to add to Wendy's what Wendy said regarding the directory. So if you are an agency that's already featured in the directory, you should be, or you probably already have received an email from Esperanza Center, Yelinette Susana, requesting you to update your portion of the directory. If you are a new agency, you work for a new agency, and you're not part of the directory, the Manhattan Family Resource Directory, please feel free to reach out to me. I will make sure that you make it in there this year. The email is yestrella, as in my name, YESTRELLA @esperanzacenter.com. Please reach out. And Wendy, if you can send me the names of those organizations, if you remember them, that are new, that would be great. So I can make sure somebody reaches out to them. Thank you.
When were the emails sent out for the updated?
The emails are being sent out
Okay.
as we speak. So probably it's alphabetical. So OHEL is probably towards the end.
Oh, it's okay. I just want to make sure people are aware of it because I didn't see it. So I was like, I want to make sure.
Yes. So a lot of organizations already received them, but
Okay.
a lot have not. But yeah, if you know of any new provider that you think should be featured in the directory, please let us know. Thank you.
Thanks. Wendy?
I just wanted to add to that. Please note that the people who are being contacted to update this information are the contact people for the agencies. So the contact people listed for the agencies in the directory may be different than the ones that are on this meeting today. So please check in with the contact person listed in the directory to see if they have received the email before you reach out to Jasenia or Jelinette saying that, no one's received the email. And if that person hasn't, just give it a week or so. But yes, if you don't receive it by would you say the beginning of February, second week of February, Jasenia, it would be fair to just send an email through? Yeah. Because we want to make sure we have the most updated contact information. We understand their staff changes, there may be some restructuring changes in your agency, whatever it may be. We definitely want to have the most up-to-date information, including a description of your program and whether your program will continue for next year. I mean, we're all in the process of renewing contracts with OPWDD. So by now we should all know whether our programs will continue into next year or not.
Thanks, Wendy. Mary?
Yeah, I'd just like to say maybe we could contact Include to see the list of tables that they had, and then we can get an idea of who was there that we don't have in our directory.
Hi, I'd be happy to share that. Maybe this is Laura from Include.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you wanted to just post in the chat the should I send that to the Y Estrella?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thanks, Laura. That would be great. I meant to ask Rich if he would do that for us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great job this Saturday too, by the way, Laura. Amazing event.
Yeah.
Awesome. And thanks for those of you who attended.
Yes. Although you guys choose the coldest day sometimes of the year, it was a wonderful event.
I know. I love it over there, but you get to 11th Avenue and it is windy and freezing. Last year was the same. Remember?
I live between 10th and 11th Avenue, so I'm keenly aware of what what everyone's talking about.
But it does speak to the impact of Include NYC that you have that kind of draw, even when there's a warning of severe weather, that you can have hundreds of people show up at your event and have it go as smoothly as it did. So great job.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Finally, before we leave, yes, we are hoping to do hybrid in February. And our in-person location will be at Birch Family Services. And that meeting is for February 17th. The address is 104 West 29th Street. Margaret, do you have the floor?
Yeah, come into the second floor. We'll be there. The main reception is 3, but the big room's on 2. So we'll have someone there to greet people.
Great. And hopefully there will not be a foot of snow outside and at least above 0 temperature. So we are shooting to have that hybrid meeting in February 17th.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having everyone here.
Okay. Thanks again, everybody. Great meeting. And stay warm, stay dry, and stay well. Talk to you soon.
Take care, everyone.